Hello, my friend. Welcome to today's podcast episode. I'm your host, Joelle Cease, and today comes from a friend and listener question, Katie, who asked if I would share about supplements in an upcoming episode about what I'm taking. And I've done episodes about supplements in the past, but it is always a really good idea to cycle the different support that you are getting with your supplements. At least to me, that's what I think works really well for me, especially when I've been taking something for a while. And then if I stop taking it and I'm like, oh, things are feeling off, I can then give my body that information of, okay, that supplement is the thing that I'm no longer taking anymore. It really was making a difference. I'm going to bring it back in. Or even just evaluating, there's so much, I'm saying a lot already, but there's so many influencers and people and experts and supplement companies now. Now, back in the day when I started my health and fitness coaching business, there wasn't a lot of options for good quality supplements at your fingertips. Now, there are so many supplement companies, so much so that it's starting to become as sketchy of a business as the pharmaceutical company. I said it. That's a hot take. That is a hot take that I think there are supplement companies that see the opportunity, that, see where they can market things in a certain way. And I just think a lot of supplements are not necessary. And I do think, and this is my main caveat, as a certified nutritionist, as somebody who's worked in the health and fitness industry for over a decade, that you should select supplements that are supportive for the needs that you have in your lifestyle, in your everyday life, based off your activity and whatnot, what have you, not off of what some influencer says works for her because she is lean, ripped, and skinny. You really want to pay attention to, is this something that I need? So I will start also by encouraging you to get blood work done. I talked about this on my Patreon in the summer of 2024, that I got blood work done, and I did pay to have a consult of what that blood work really meant and how I can support myself based off of my body. And so I want to encourage that. And you can, if you've gotten blood work done, you can write down or download that information that you get, put it into ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is not a doctor, but you can ask it to explain it to you from a holistic health practitioner or a naturopathic doctor. How would a naturopathic doctor read this information, and what supplements would be suggested? Now, that is not me giving medical advice. That is just something that you could do if you're like, okay, well, I'm not getting blood work done anytime soon. Maybe you got some done in the past, but my goal is to get blood work done every 6 months so I can look at the information and also kind of keep a baseline for what my hormones are at when I'm in my mid-30s versus where my hormones are at when I'm in my 40s and in my 50s. So I can really have the data long term, not just right now, if that makes sense. So get your blood work done and see if anything pops up, or see if there's anything that you need outside support in. That will help you make decisions for your body based on what it is that you need. But oh gosh, so specifically right now, the supplements that I am taking are quite minimal. I actually have found that this has been working really well for my body, of not having so many supplements. And I say that, but I'm also going to share a handful that I am taking. The first one that I am taking is Ovamoon, and that is a daily multivitamin. They also have hormone supportive herbs and supplements in there. It's kind of a one-stop shop. I have been a big proponent for Ovamoon for years and years and years, since before the pandemic, and I have really taken it. I have taken breaks from taking Ovamoon, but when I do take those breaks, I start to feel it and I'm like, oh, my certain things within my cycle are starting to get worse again. And it's like, okay, I know for my mood, energy, emotion, and for my cycle that my body really does respond well to that. Also, I've had friends message me time and time again of like, hey, I know you've talked about Ovamoon. I started taking it again. They've seen these positive benefits. I do have a code with Ovamoon. I believe my code just gives me a discounted credit for when I'm purchasing my own, I believe. But I will leave that in the show notes if you are interested in ordering Ovamoon. 10 out of 10 recommend. It's a well-rounded multivitamin. It's got hormone supportive herbs and supplements in there, and my one-stop shop. It's also really, really good quality. As another one of my friends talked about the MTHFR gene mutation, and you've heard Gary Brecka talk about methylated vitamins. Ovamoon does it right. Ovamoon does it right. When you look at the quality of the supplements and the vitamins and minerals that are in there, they are methylated, which is a 2 thumbs up. And so it's also a really good high quality supplement. I've had to lecture my husband about getting really cheap quality supplements and being like, this isn't doing what you think it's doing. It's actually not doing what you think it's doing. And it's actually like probably not even impacting you that much. So regardless, with supplements, number one, I recommend getting it through good quality. And then I'll also caveat and say, likely try not to get your supplements off of Amazon, because there has been known to have, and if you are getting it through an Amazon seller, for example, one of the supplements I'm going to talk about today is by the brand Kion, Kion. And when I am purchasing it through Amazon, I'm making sure that the seller is legit, that it is through the manufacturer, that it is through its own company, because there are definitely a lot of black market supplements that are just scamming, like literally buying the legit bottles and labels and putting crap inside of them. So just be careful. So Ovamoon for my well-rounded, hormone supportive multivitamin. The second supplement that has been a buzz, but also very tried and true, has been creatine. I take a scoop of creatine every single day. I have since I got my blood work in July, where my creatinine levels were insanely low, like insanely low. So I started taking creatine every day. And you guys, I don't think it's coincidence that when I started taking it around July of 2024, and I took it consistently, because it's one that it builds up in your system over time. So you really want to give it a good 60 to 90 days to build up. And then you always want to be dosing yourself a little bit every day. So I do 1 scoop, which is 5 milligrams every single day. That in September is when I really started my mental toughness journey, because there, yes, are benefits to creatine when it comes to maintaining muscle mass, which as we age, we naturally lose muscle mass. So if there's a supplement that is supportive for maintaining your muscle mass, that's going to be good for longevity. But there's also so many cognitive benefits to creatine. And I didn't even know this at the time, but recently, I've been listening to a lot of experts talking on creatine and the cognitive benefits of creatine. And I've been like, it absolutely makes sense as to why I feel like mentally and emotionally, I'm not as taxed as I used to be. You know, there's still stressful times that happen. There's still things that go on, but truly it's just been a different amount of mental clarity and mental capacity. That's how I would describe the mental cognitive benefits, is more emotional capacity and more, it's just been so different. And I think and I know that there are studies that support this when taking creatine. So we have gotten ours through Thorne, Thorne. Thorne, that one mixes really, really well. So I could seriously put it in a big bottle of water. It's unflavored. So I could put it in a big bottle of water and not taste it. Sometimes I'll mix it in with my protein shake. Sometimes I'll just add a scoop to my hydration and electrolytes, aminos that I have for when I am running. I'll talk about that in a second. But I just really put it into any liquid, and that Thorne has been really good. My husband picked up the brand Optimum Nutrition at Costco the other day, and he was like, this seems to be really, really good quality from Costco. Optimum Nutrition has been around for many, many, many years. So they sell it in bulk at Costco as well, which is really, really cool. The next supplement that I have been taking is protein. So I've been hopping around to different protein brands, which has actually been kind of nice since, not taking or needing to take the Beachbody supplements, as I'm no longer affiliated with the company anymore. I've been really enjoying Clean Simple Eats. Number one, because we got a Ninja Creamy, and the Clean Simple Eats protein has lots of really great flavors. It has a really, really good texture when it comes to the creamy. Legitimately, in the Ninja Creamy, all I do is Fairlife milk and a scoop of the protein, mix it up really good, freeze it, and you get a really good texture of protein ice cream. But it's also really, really good in a shaker cup. I also really like to just mix it with a little bit of milk, add some cold brew coffee or some espresso over ice, and have like a protein coffee. There are a lot of times where I told you, like, I'm literally just mixing it in a shaker cup. I'll take the vanilla and a little bit of orange juice for post-workout. If I need a quick carb and protein post-workout kind of snack to tie me over as I'm driving home, or as I'm thinking about what I need to make before I get too hangry. And I've been really liking the Clean Simple Eats protein, but I'm open to other suggestions. If you're like, because yes, I got the Clean Simple Eats because so many influencers were talking about it. And as you guys know, one of my favorite things to do is to purchase with my own monies what the influencers buy, to see if it's going to work for me, or if I like it, or if they're full of baloney because they're getting paid to talk about it. And legitimately, I was like, the Clean Simple Eats protein I really like. I'll be honest, I got a couple other packets of their like hydration and collagen, and I didn't really care for those. I tried a packet of the pre-workout, didn't really feel the effects that I like to feel when it comes to a pre-workout, but that's just me testing and trying things out. I do love that they have the sample packets, so you can. Our local Shields carries a ton of Clean Simple Eats, but I'm totally open. If you guys have recommendations for other proteins that are really great, let me know. I would love to try them out. And if the Clean Simple isn't the best, but it is a really good quality protein. And for me, it doesn't cause digestive issues. And I really have been liking it. The next supplement, and you guys, this is going back to saying I am no longer affiliated with the company, but I haven't found anything better. And that's my pre-workout of choice, which is Energize. And I have an overflow of Energize because #addiction. And after I had the kids, you guys, I was living off Energize, and at the beginning of the year, I did, rejigger my relationship with Energize because I was drinking Energize to function, and I was no longer feeling the effects of the pre-workout. So I took a 2-week break off of Energize, and then I started implementing it back in as a pre-workout for tough workouts, majority being running. So I'm really only having Energize 3-ish times a week. Some weeks it's 2, some weeks it's 4. And I'm now getting that effect of the beta alanine and the quercetin and the caffeine. and it sits well in my stomach. I'm somebody who struggles with acid reflux, so I've got to be careful. And for whatever reason, Energize seems to sit really well in my stomach for a pre-workout. And so I'm no longer affiliated with the company. When I am out of the overload that I have, I would definitely be open to trying something new. So let me know. Let me know on that. If you're like me or if you're a former Beachbody coach or body partner or whatever you identify as, I guess. I don't know. I would love to know what you made the switch to. It's been a hard transition, and the 2 weeks I was barely functioning without it, but I'm glad I reevaluated my relationship with it. But it's still my favorite pre-workout of choice. And then the last thing I'll talk about is I kind of call it my hydration for running, but also I'll make this not every day, but on any day where water just isn't doing it for me. And I see other people on TikTok coining it as a loaded water. My friend Lauren Ricks calls hers a loaded water, but it's really just taking your big water bottle and putting a concoction of supplements into it. And I've been drinking mine most of the time around my run or around my workout. And the one that I've been enjoying the most lately is the Liquid IV. At Costco, we get the pack of Liquid IV that is strawberry and cherry. Oh my gosh. My kids and I go through that cherry Liquid IV so much. Yes, I give my kids a little sprinkle of Liquid IV. It's a funny story, side tangent. Okay. How and why do my kids drink Liquid IV? Okay, number one, I would bring my big water cup out onto the boat in the summertime, and as I don't drink a whole lot, but I obviously want to have something to drink, I would put Liquid IV in my water bottle and bring it out onto the boat. My kids, as kids do, drink from mom's water cup. So they just started calling it mom juice. Mom, is this your juice? Mom, is this your juice? And I was like, yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, I don't need to correct them. It's actually kind of cute. And even on the boat, when the kids would be like, Mom, is this mom juice? And I'd say, yeah, and they take a big drink of it. I just get these looks of like, well, what the heck are they drinking? Because normally mom juice is associated with alcohol. Not in my house. Not in my house. My kids do not know me as being a drinker. And so they have fair game on mom's juice. And we love the cherry. Oh, the golden cherry Liquid IV. Yes, give it to me. And I will put that in there with a scoop of the Kion aminos. I did not like the mixed berry flavor of the Kion, Kion aminos, but I do love the mango, and we'll be trying the watermelon next to switch up some flavors. That is a relatively new supplement to me, the aminos. I've listened to some podcasts on the importance of good quality aminos around training for maintaining muscle, but I don't know if that will be something that sticks. It's just something that I have. I wanted to try. I'll use it up and see what I think from there. You can, if you're this isn't even woo-woo, but I did muscle test these on myself, and my body did test yes for the aminos. So I'm going to give them a whirl, but it's not something I drink every day. And then today I added creatine to my water. And so I mix that up, and then I work out and I'm drinking it, or I would drink this on a hot day, or just whenever, even if I'm like, oh, I know I need to hydrate, but I don't want just plain old water, I would make something like that up. The next thing that I don't have a huge amount of education on to explain, but a lot of people really pinpoint Liquid IV as being quote unquote really bad because of the sugar content. What I'm learning from Melissa Kinder and from other experts about fueling your body and your body being able to utilize a carbohydrate, so sugar being a simple carbohydrate that your body can like grab it for energy, and especially for when you're working out or when you are sweating a lot, it's not a bad thing. And it's actually something you're training your body to utilize when working out and having a sugar source. This is often why, marathon runners are having GU or simple sugar of some sort when they are running. Now, I'm working out 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes a day. I'm not anything of an extreme athlete. It's something I'm working up to, but as of right now, so the need for me to have a simple sugar mid-workout isn't necessary, but it's not a bad thing. Like, yes, you don't want to have like a Snickers and a soda and overload yourself in sugar in that way. You're not going to feel good, and you're going to have like a big old sugar spike and a big old sugar crash. But there is science behind why Liquid IV puts some sugar into their formulation. That's all I'm going to say. So all of the other ones that are saying like, oh, we don't have sugar in ours, that's not saying they're bad or wrong. It's just they're different, but it's not something I'm worried about in consuming it myself. Now, do I wish that I know they do sell the sugar-free options of Liquid IV at Costco, and I think it's like the lemon lime and another flavor, but you guys, we are so addicted to the golden cherry that it's a pack of golden cherry and the strawberry flavor. Strawberry flavor is good, but the golden cherry is elite. We love it. My kids love it. I love it. And so that's really how simple it is I like taking my Ovamoon supplements with my lunch. So that's my big recommendation. If you are wanting to be consistent with taking your supplements, stack them at a time that's convenient. I know I work from home, so it's really easy for me to put my Ovamoon supplement right where I can see it, wherever I'm at around lunchtime, to remind me to take it. But if you're at work and at your desk 5 days a week, and if you're taking your supplements consistently 5 days a week, that's better than forgetting about them at home and always remembering while you're at work or something like that. So Ovamoon, creatine, and then Ovamoon, creatine, protein, those are the staples. And then kind of the mix up, depending on the day, is my pre-workout of choice, Energize. And then the big loaded water, and I put in a lot of different things in there. It could be the aminos, it could be another random supplement that I'm trying, it could be the Liquid IV, it could be the dosage of creatine if I hadn't taken it yet that day. And that's all that I am taking right now. Super, super simple. And most of it is based off of what my body needed, based off of my blood work. But I'm not one that like sees the greens and sees the colostrum and sees all of the snazzy, catchy supplement things, because right now, for sure, I'm focusing on the foundation, which is my workouts and my nutrition, getting my own nutrition in check with having a slight calorie deficit, and energy management, basically. So I'm not overloading myself with supplements. I don't think it is necessary. I don't think a lot of these supplements that are claiming to be these miraculous things for your body are doing what they say they're doing. I think it's having a healthy lifestyle is the main foundation. But you try it out. Try it out and see if it works for you. And if it does, then keep doing that. And if something doesn't work for you, then stop. Even though somebody else is saying, oh, I swear by this, it's going to be different for everybody. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Outside of it just being me sharing what it is that I'm taking, I hope it was just encouragement to you of like, keep your supplement stacks simple. I feel the same way about skincare. I get asked about skincare all the time, and my skincare routine is literally the simplest thing ever. And I think keeping it simple really can help you identify what it is that's supportive for your body. If I were to pick 2 things out of all that I talked about today, it would be Ovamoon and creatine. Those are literally my 2 standard for me, just because Ovamoon takes care of a lot of things all in one. I've seen and heard myself and others rave about, just how it really is so supportive. It's not a miracle, but you can tell that it's supporting your body, your energy, your hormones. And then creatine, because it is the most research and congruent studied supplement on the market. The other things are just for funsies. The other things I could do without, give or take. About 4 months ago, I would say I couldn't do without Energize, but I did it. I have minimized it. And if there is another pre-workout that you really love, please let me know. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. Thank you for listening to today's episode. If you loved what you heard or you want to share your favorite episode topics, please leave a rating and review. This helps the podcast growth and gives people an idea of what the podcast is all about. Something new and exciting that I wanted to share with you before we go is that we now have a Patreon page. This has replaced the Feminine Edge collective community in a cohesive place that is easier for me to manage and cheaper for you. If you are interested in our monthly classes, exclusive day in the life vlogs, Bible studies, community Q&A, and more, go to patreon.com/livingInSync and join for just $5 a month. Check out the show notes for any links or details of things referenced in today's episode, and I look forward to chatting with you in the next one.